what does it mean when you hear people say there's a lot going on in the world right now, it's okay to prioritize yourself? Does that mean you sit home and eat a bunch of food, or you put a medal on yourself? Like, hello and welcome to We Wear Wellness, where we talk about mindset, spirituality, mental health, productivity, and all that good stuff. Everything, to help you become the better version of yourself. So today I wanted to talk about, just how to prioritize yourself. It's such a vague term. I really believe it is so important, and that's why I want to break it down for you, because it's really easy to get caught up in the daily hustle and bustle and put yourself on the back burner and just sort of forget to connect with yourself and give yourself what you need. And when we do that for a really long time, we get sick, right? We fall sick mentally and physically. You can see that. If you ignore what your body needs for a really long time and you keep working, or even if you're not working, but you just ignore what your body needs, you don't eat healthy, or you don't sleep enough, or you don't work out, then you fall sick. And the same thing can happen to your mind as well. So it's so important to prioritize yourself and reconnect and give yourself that energy, feed yourself, nourish yourself energetically and physically and mentally, so that you can keep going and live your life to the fullest. And I wouldn't say live your life, and keep going and keep hustling, because that's not what the point is, but live your life to the fullest so you're not drained and depleted, right? So how do we start with this? The first step, I would say, is to listen to yourself. Listen back to your body. And what I do is I listen to my chest, because I tune into my chest, because that's really where I feel the most emotion. My chest can tell me, how I'm feeling, and this might be different for you. It varies. You might feel it in your gut, or in your, in your sacral area, or you might feel it in your mind. It's really different for everyone. There's no one size fits all, but tune into that part of you, and then you can try to understand, listen in and see, okay, do you need more rest? Do you need some stimulation? Do you need some more fun? Do you need to just switch from negative thoughts to positive thoughts? What are your feelings? Are you feeling anxious or depressed or just sad or demotivated? What is the feeling? And then you can start working on that, right? That's the first step, to tune in so that your body can guide you. And then the thing is that why I'm really making this video, and there's no just easy approach, is because it's different for everyone. Everyone needs different things. Now, for somebody, prioritizing themselves might be prioritizing their health and, choosing to eat fruits and vegetables rather than impulse eating, right? But for somebody else, it could be the completely different opposite thing. It could be prioritizing themselves and giving themselves permission to eat that slice of cake at a party, or, to enjoy themselves with on a night out with friends and eat that pizza, giving themselves that permission, prioritizing their enjoyment or their mental health rather than just a strict diet, right? So there's all sorts, and nothing's right or wrong, but what is it that you need? And that's why you need to tune into yourself. And so I'm just going to give you some examples of, that might help you prioritize yourself and fill your cup, especially in the world right now where there's so much going on, that we really need to step into that balance, because there's so much going on. When you switch on the news, there's all this stuff, and maybe you don't even switch on the news, but even then it's important to just balance yourself, come back to that realignment. So for example, prioritizing yourself and filling your cup could look like, staying in and just reading a book or watching a movie you love, but doing any one of that rather than going out because your friends want you to and sort of pleasing them. So, it's oh, my friends are calling me and they're going to make me feel guilty if I don't go, or I feel guilty if I don't go. But in that situation, where if you tune into your chest, and if you feel like maybe you're just really tired, or you don't feel like being social, or you just, need that slow night bedtime routine, then that's where you would prioritize yourself and probably say no and stay home, right? Another sort of example is, let's say you have a lot of chores you need to do. You need to clean the house, you need to do the laundry, you need to cook some dinner because guests are coming over, or maybe guests are not coming over, but you just, you have this identity that you're this perfect mom or perfect wife, and you run the house really well, and you're like an amazing homemaker. Maybe that's like what you feel your identity is, and you feel like you need to do that, but you are exhausted. You've been really, putting so much pressure on yourself to make everything perfect for everyone around you, but you're exhausted. And so you are really, really sleepy. Maybe last night you stayed up late, whatever. So here, prioritizing yourself would look like giving yourself permission to skip, making everything look perfect, doing the laundry, doing the dishes, cooking a 5-course meal for your kids or your family, and just giving yourself permission to, maybe order in. Do the unthinkable, or take something out of the freezer, frozen pizza, and make that. That's where prioritizing yourself comes into play. And now again, the tricky thing with all these examples is that you can take it to an extreme, and we're not doing that. We don't want to do that. We are just tuning into ourselves and doing what our body needs or our soul needs, because that way it's like you're filling your cup up first, and when you do that, you can fill other people's cups too, right? You can't help others when you're exhausted and depleted emotionally as well, or physically, all energy level dimensions. So another example would be, maybe let's say you have a lot of work, a huge to-do list, and your boss is expecting some sort of work from you, and it's not necessary, but it's just something that would be really awesome or really good if you did it, right? But you're really tired, and you've been working for like 3 days straight, and there's a beautiful sunset outside. Now, again, here you have the option of, hustling and grinding and just going at it and kind of squishing down your stress and your anxiety and your exhaustion. Like, you can feel it in your chest. For me, you can feel it, but you're just going to be like, no, I need to please my boss. If I don't do this, then he's going to think badly of me, and then he's not going to give me the promotion, and then I'm not going to get that 6-figure salary, and then blah, blah, blah. But here, again, tune into yourself. You might realize that, no, you know what, I'm exhausted, and I have not spent any time with myself, and I've not been able to be present in the moment for days now. So I am going to choose to put aside the extra work I told my boss I'd do, and choose to watch the sunset instead. Choose to take a sip of coffee slowly in peace, rather than checking my emails at the same time. Prioritizing yourself. So these are really just a few of the many examples what it means to prioritize yourself. I try to make it like very practical about how it actually looks like. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. There is always that fine line, because you never know. I mean, you do know, but sometimes we humans overthink, and we're like, am I prioritizing myself, or am I just being lazy? We get confused, like, oh, should I actually just skip the work and take a nap, or is that just me finding an excuse to procrastinate or be lazy? So there is that slight area we need to be mindful about, but that's why I always say come back to yourself and tune back into what your heart says and your body says, because it's gonna guide you, it's gonna tell you. And when you get better and better at hearing what your body needs, or your soul needs, I'm just kind of putting it into one box right now, then you can get better at providing that and taking the right decision and finding that perfect balance. Well, I'm not going to say perfect, there's no such thing as perfect, just that balance between, okay, here I'm going to choose to just give myself a hug, slow down a little bit, relax, because I need it and this is what my soul needs, versus just, oh, I'm gonna slow down and skip all the work I have because I am lazy, and this is a good excuse to just pretend that I'm taking care of myself. And of course, that's not how it actually shows. It's much more subtle than that. We get confused ourselves, even though it's in our own bodies and minds. But yeah, that's where you get better and better and better, making the right decision and balancing. So one day you might hustle, and you might be that perfect mom. You might be that perfect employee. You might be that perfect business owner, whatever it is that you want to be doing. But another day you might just prioritize yourself over all those other areas of your life, and you just say, I'm gonna sleep in. I'm gonna rest in bed today. I'm gonna watch Netflix. I'm gonna eat what I love, you know, and that's okay as long as you keep the balance and you know that that's what your body needs, not just what you're doing for the sake of it. So yeah, just, you know, let me know in the comments below what you thought about this video. Share this with a friend who you think would love this video or needs to, you know, needs that reminder to sort of tune in with themselves and ask themselves what they need, and maybe they're hustling too much or they're not prioritizing themselves, they're putting themselves on the back burner. You know, share it with them. This might just really help them, and it can actually change lives, because if I had known this like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe I wouldn't have had to spend like 3-4 years in depression. You know, it's actually because it just adds up. And so it is an important topic, even though sometimes it's just made so silly on Instagram, you know, fill your cup. I don't know, but it is an important really important topic. So yeah, and do subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, because that would make me so happy. And you know, I love making videos and I love talking about these things because I know they're really, really important, and they help me so much and they help my clients so much, and I just want to spread more of it to the world. You know, the importance of self-help, even though it sounds like a cheesy cliche topic, it is so important. But anyways, I'm gonna stop blabbering now. I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, and we'll see you next week.